And by the way, I am curious if anybody thinks, is Baker Mayfield an asset potentially in all this stuff? That like when you're making that, listen, he's a distressed asset, but
expiring contract.
And you, what if it pops? It's a reasonable deal. There's no long-term commitment to it. So you're either off of it, or if it hits, now all of a sudden you might have your quarterback at a reasonable price. That would it like, is Baker in a first for Cousins? Is that the deal? Baker in a first for Garoppolo? Is that a deal? Is that actually like that Baker's like a piece of that in Minnesota, if they want to move on from Cousins, say, well, we'll roll the dice on Baker. He's at least a starter. He's a for sure starter. He has more upside than Jared Goff did when the Lions did that deal. So anyway, I'm a little less enthused about Jimmy, but I wouldn't automatically say no. But Cousins to me is a little more certain.
I for sure think that you can use Baker Mayfield as a tradable commodity. He is currency right now. And I think he has some value. I know, I mean, there are plenty of coaches out there in the NFL that really liked Baker Mayfield coming out in the draft. And there are a lot of people that still think of him very, very highly. I think a lot, maybe not a lot of teams, but I think teams will look at last year and take into consideration just, the injury scheme, receiver issues, and see something there. And I actually think maybe a change of scenery might do him some good, right? We'll see, but maybe somebody else can get a little bit more out of him or see something in him, and maybe that's one where if the Raiders are not willing to give Derek Carr the money that he wants, the big extension that he wants, maybe they would be willing to take on Baker Mayfield in a swap as they're in this transition phase. And then Matt Ryan, we didn't even mention Matt Ryan. Okay. Now
and that's a new one, I think, since the last time we really got into this.
Right. He's 37, but I think maybe you guys agree. I mean, he would be an intriguing prospect. I mean, he's a good quarterback, and he's somebody that you can win with. And given the right situation and given a good defense, he's somebody that I think he would be worth also looking into. And, same thing with Mitch Trubisky to a lesser extent in terms of coming in and knowing that he would be your starter right away. But there are names out there that, that I think that they can and will look into. But for whatever reason, if I had to do a roadmap right now, I would probably start with Derek Carr. Now, Jimmy Garoppolo, some people think that they should be starting with Jimmy Garoppolo in terms of trying to acquire a veteran, because they think that would be most realistic right now, that you could actually get your hands on him. And I suppose that could be true when all is said and done. And I probably wouldn't be completely opposed to that. I think you could work with that too.
Is there any reason to believe, with all the rumors there were about the New England Patriots and Baker Mayfield in that draft and how much the Patriots liked Baker, that Josh McDaniels might be a Baker Mayfield fan, which would help perhaps grease the wheels of a Derek Carr Baker Mayfield trade?
Yeah. I mean, when you really love a guy coming out, you love a guy in the draft like that. I mean, it seems like evaluators sort of keep that in their brains for a very long time. So I suppose that could be part of it. I think, and every really good offensive coordinator or quarterbacks coach believes that they can take a quarterback like that and turn him into a Super Bowl winner.
Can I drop a conspiracy theory?
Sure.
A Raiders conspiracy theory. There's no basis for this at all, but didn't Josh McDaniel interview a Browns assistant for the offensive coordinator job? Was he maybe doing some intel on Baker?
I like it, Dan.
How hurt was Baker? Just a little small talk before we start the interview.
I like it. Very good.
I think with new coaches with the Raiders and the Vikings, those seem like really real possibilities. If they want to move on from their guys, that you take Baker in return, he's your bridge. If he works out, great, but he's your bridge to maybe a better draft class, because every coach wants to, you want to build around your own quarterback that you brought in. And again, his contract is, the fifth year is going to be up after next season. So I think that could make a lot of sense to teams like the Vikings and the Raiders. And again, you're getting a guy in return that isn't a long-term answer, but if you get 5 years out of him, great. If not, he at least gets you through X number of years and X number of drafts where you can maybe identify the guy that's going to be the next one.